And relational presence is the capacity to be with one person at a time, all the time, no matter how large or small the group is. So if you're wondering what it is I'm doing, my fullest priority, no matter, and I have content, I'm teaching something, but my higher priority is to be with one person at any time, like they're the only person in the world. And if this was 300 or 3,000 people, I'd be no less with one person at a time. It's not the amount of people. It's the quality of being with the person. Now granted, here in this gymnasium for presence, I'm slowing it down somewhat. It might be more fluid out there in the quote world, but still it's coming from a commitment that the only way I can communicate is one person at a time. And this came through me because I had such fear. And this was the only way I could do it, luckily. I thought this was just coping. It turned out this is what the masterful communicators do already. They may not even be able to explain what they're doing. So it really is a function of listening, a kind of listening. Relational presence is a kind of listening. There's been a lot of talk about listening here this morning. I'm so glad to hear it because that was going to be my theme. There's a way of listening that is the biggest gift we can give. I just wrote an article, it'll be in the newsletter coming out on Monday or Tuesday. I wrote that the greatest gift a person can give to others is listening. We give each other listening. Yet, very few people listen in the most effective way for bringing out the best in ourselves and each other. It's not what we think when we think about listening. Listening from relational presence is not trying at all. It's not looking for cues, looking for psychological cues, trying to connect. What are they saying? It's a soft availability. We know how to do this, and in our lives we do some of it, or a lot of it personally, or maybe in our business. If we're successful in any way in business, we're doing a lot of this, one-on-one particularly. We're doing this a lot, because this is the only way we can communicate in an effective way. We wait, we take over. We don't just present. We're there. It's hard, though, to understand sometimes that that's exactly how you can be in front of a group. But we have to practice, because it's not natural now for most of us, although it was natural when we were little 2-year-old babies. So we're going back to something natural, but we sometimes have to move through something that feels a little unnatural. But it really comes down to, at any given moment, when there's stress, or you don't know what to do, or you don't know where you're going in a moment. And by the way, the most masterful communicators do not know where their sentences are going, often. You know that? It's not like they have it all together. They're so on the edge of what they know and in the connection that they trust they can stop and see where it wants to go. So where do they go? Where do you go in the moment where you don't know what to say next? You go back to this listening state of relational presence, which is going to be breathing with one, finding a person who's there and breathing with them. Not looking for someone who's smiling, because that distracts me more than anything now. They're supporting me, I know. I just go to somebody whose eyes are with me, and boom, I get into this listening modality, and I find I'm listening to the universe, and I can trust that divine intelligence will come through me. So let's go to that place of listening for a moment. I'm not going to even ask you to close your eyes in this part. Usually I do, but somehow I'm going to have you keep your eyes open. And what is it like to just let your center of gravity move down to the center of the earth? And listen. Without trying. If you want to close your eyes, okay. Just breathe. You're not listening for anything. You're just spaciously allowing Your mind might be spinning its wheels. Don't even try to stop spinning your mind. It is what it's doing. It's doing it. Not even trying to relax. May not be relaxing, but you're allowing yourself to be not relaxed. You're listening to what it is. By listening, I don't necessarily mean it's in words. It's just a receptivity to the moment. It's really what all Eckhart Tolle is talking about. Being now, in the now. Now, as you open your eyes, if it's closed, and you be there with me that way. We're just listening together. This is relational presence. Nothing more, nothing less. Nothing's happening. We're scared of this place. That's why we try to. I better continue. I better figure out what I have to say. It's hard to tolerate until it becomes like ecstasy to be in the company of other human beings who are just there with you. And they'll be there with you if you know this place. They could be. You might look at people and they're going crazy. I don't know what to do with this, but you respectfully notice and you move on. You don't have to stay with them and make them uncomfortable. But you will find people who just come right there. Stay with them. Speak to only them. And eventually people will just line up like iron filings to a magnet. That's why it's magnetism.